DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan here. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to have a show talking about lice and how to prevent and control lice in cattle. A hot topic during some cold days, so stay tuned. We'll be right back with DocTalk.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Profusion Drench for beef cattle, a no prescription, no needle supplement. To learn more, go to zenpro.com. ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey there folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson and I'm glad you joined me today. I'm the department head here of animal science at Iowa State University, where we have about 1,100 students. 1,000 of them are undergrad, 100 of them are graduate students, 50-some faculty, and it's been quite a transition during COVID. Nothing that's worth having is easy, but I had a great time with our collegiate cattle group, have had a great time with our block and bridle group, and many of our undergrad organizations, providing some of the insight and just getting to interact with the students as we move forward through these not so normal times. But face-to-face interaction and getting out on the farm, doing the chores, being together, cattle handling, all the above are so important. So as we talk about moving into the wintertime and we start thinking about protecting our cattle, and one of the things I think is probably most underestimated when it comes to processing protocols in the feedlot or working cows in the fall is controlling lice. And it seems to be every year a little bit more and more of an issue as we have moved through some of these different products and different things. And I hear a lot of cases of people calling saying, hey, we've got lice real bad in our cows and it doesn't matter what we do, we can't seem to get rid of it. So I thought today we'd take a little bit of time and we'd talk about just what it is. First of all, lice is a major problem in the winter. Lice or mange, this is something we don't see it in the summer. When we have blue skies, sunny days, warm weather, lice don't like that weather. However, lice love dark, gloomy, cloudy, cold days, okay? So we're not gonna really see lice problems in cows or in feedlot steers until it gets to be winter. So what do cattle that have lice issues look like? And it can be confused with other types of things. We might think that it's a mineral deficiency or something to that, but when we start to see patches of hair move off the cattle, and you'll see it off their rump, around their tail head, you'll see it off their shoulders, their midline, anywhere they can rub, that's where they're gonna lose their hair. So when cattle have lice, the one thing you'll see just about immediately with them is you pull in the feed yard and all of a sudden you look and all the cattle are around the fences and they're just rubbing their sides. And so we'll start to see the hair loss in the winter, and we'll also see radical behavior as far as those animals scratching themselves or rubbing themselves on posts, just anything to relieve themselves from that itch. So it's something that you can see easily, but sometimes it's misdiagnosed. And sometimes we think it's lice when it's not. I had a group of steers that they laid down in the wintertime, their belly hair was wet, and they actually like froze to the ground. And when they stood up, it pulled the hair off their belly, and we started to think about lice, but really it was environmental. Sometimes we may see mineral deficiencies or things that might lead you to think that these animals are having issues with lice, but really they're not. So as we start to move forward, as we start to think about preparation for the fall and for the winter, one of the things we have to start putting into our protocol is lice control. We're going to take a break. When we come back, there'll be a lot more here on DocTalk. We're going to talk about lice, ectoparasites, winter, and your cows. Thanks for joining me. If you missed Caregiver Camp this year, don't worry. We'll have more camps in 2022 at Knopfsinger Ranch in Benkelman, Nebraska. The camp is an opportunity for new and veteran employees to receive one-on-one instruction in a relaxed environment from Dr. Tom Knopfsinger, Dr. Kip Lucas-Savage, and Ted Howard on cattle handling, horsemanship, animal health, disease detection, and team interaction. At Caregiver Camp, people learn how to grow, how to trust, and open lines of contact between animals and humans. These principles will allow you to build relationships with your own livestock and team. For more information and future dates, visit our events page at packdvms.com.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Producers know stress costs money. It puts their cattle at greater risk of illness and can be a substantial drain on animal performance. That's why Zenpro developed ProFusion Drench for beef cattle. Formulated with Zenpro's patented trace mineral technology, ProFusion Drench is a no-script, no-needle performance supplement proven to rapidly replenish essential nutrients lost during times of stress. For optimal results, use ProFusion Drench with Zenpro Performance Minerals in feed as part of a complete nutrition program. To learn more, go to zenpro.com. ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here at Iowa State University, where I'm the Department Chair of Animal Science. And so it's been a little bit of a transition, but actually Iowa's my home state. So coming back home and being with the students here at my alma mater at Iowa State has been great. I dearly miss my friends and my family that are in Kansas and at Kansas State. And so it's great to drive back and forth, but it's really good that Iowa State University allowed me to continue doing this show. And I thank our sponsors, but more importantly, I thank y'all for watching. I've gotten some great emails during the transition, and during COVID, it's been awesome to hear from y'all that the show is making an impact. So when we talk about lice, one of the things you need to understand about lice is there's really two kinds of lice. There are biting lice and there are sucking lice. And it's important because both types of lice will cause the cattle to rub. They'll cause them to itch. They'll cause the same type of clinical signs. The difference is when we go to treat animals for lice, some products like injectables will work against the sucking lice, but injectable products, such as our ivermectins, won't work against the biting lice. So those lice have to be locked on and sucking to get that constant flow of blood with the ivermectin product in there to go to that sucking lice. But if it's a biting lice where it's just biting on the surface of the animal, it's not as easy to kill them with the injectable. So we have to use a pour-on product if we have the biting lice. So it's important to know that there's two types of lice. They're both present all across the United States. And so when we get into the weather in the wintertime, we start to change our processing protocols from just including an injectable or just including a white paste dewormer to also including some sort of topical or some sort of pour-on product as well. Your veterinarian will know your region, know your bugs, know the products, and be able to help you really, really well. When we start to think about when we're going to implement lice prevention, the first thing we have to do is, you can get the animals in the chute if you want to check to see if they're lice. And you can just part the hair across the midline and you will see the lice on the skin surface. You can see those lice move, and you can see whether or not those animals are truly infected. You can try some things like tape and different things to try to catch and see if it's on the surface. But really you should just be able to, you'll see the clinical signs and you'll be able to see the lice. So the question I always get is, when should I start to provide a pour-on, or when should I start to put my delicing program into play? And the first thing I say is, when we start to head into those colder, cloudy fall days, that's when in the processing protocols, whether you're a backgrounder, a grow yard, if you have cows, that's when we're going to start to think about our lice products and our pour-ons. And so we will treat those animals, and during our processing protocols in the feed yard, we'll give those animals a pour-on. We'll give them an injectable ivermectin for the internals, might give a white paste dewormer for the internals, plus some sort of pour-on. You can also use the pour-on ivermectins, like Ivomec pour-on, Dectomax pour-on, and different Sidectin pour-on. Don't want to miss a brand, sorry. But anyway, you can use those pour-ons, and those pour-ons will work for both internal and external parasites, both biting and sucking lice. But when we start to think about some of the things that we're going to implement if we're using an injectable, then you're going to want to add that pour-on product during the winter months. We use it when the animals come in for many different things. So when I come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about lice. We're going to talk about delousing. Thanks for joining us.
Some call it a come from behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
Time is money on the farm, and your cows are less productive when they're stressed. The Alertus on-farm test from IDEXX allows you to quickly test cowside and identify open or pregnant cows within minutes on your schedule in the parlor, barn, or chute. It's more efficient for your farm, very simple to use, and puts you in control. With minimal training and reliable, fast results, sample-based pregnancy testing is better for beef and dairy producers. Learn more at idexx.com/DocTalk.
Innovative low-stress cattle handling equipment is key to efficiency and safety. At Daniels Manufacturing Company, we design systems using the best materials. We work with top producers from all over the world who use Daniels products on their operations. We concentrate on quality, prioritizing the safety of the animals and their handlers. Each product is carefully crafted and inspected to ensure your system will last for many years. Whether your operation is small or large, Daniels Manufacturing Company can design a facility to meet your needs. Visit us online or call to see how we can improve your cattle handling facility.
Dr. Nels here, folks. We're super excited about this book on hiring. Have you made a bad hire? Have you hired someone you wish you wouldn't have? Are you looking to hire? It's a great short read on helping you in the hiring process. You can find it on Amazon, Kindle, Audible, or find it at drnels.com. Check it out there. We'd love to see you there.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here. We're in Ames, Iowa, where I work at Iowa State University, but I still get out and about with the feed yards there in western Kansas and Nebraska and different spots in the U.S., just so glad to understand how essential beef cattle production, swine production, dairy production, poultry production is to this country. So we're talking about lice in cattle, and when we start to think about delousing them, I'm just going to go through our protocol. The first thing is that when these calves come through at processing or weaning, we're going to give them an injectable or a white dewormer for the internal parasites. We're then going to use some sort of pour-on product like some sort of pyrethrin or pyrethroid, work with your veterinarian, a pour-on that is specifically for external parasites. If the animals are coming through for reimplant in a grow yard or in a feedlot, those animals were probably processed during a warm time where we didn't use a delicing protocol. So as they're coming through, I'm not going to re-deworm those animals or give them an injectable or a white paste, but I am going to give them a pour-on for the lice at that point during the winter. So one of the things that's really important about getting rid of lice in the winter is the application of the product. And when you read on the label, it says you need to get that spread from the pole to the tail head. It's really important to make sure that you get a long sweeping motion when you apply that delicing product, because I see so many people just squirt them in the middle of the back, or they just dump it with the ladle in the middle of the back, and that's not going to get the coverage done, folks. So regardless of what product you use, the making sure that you get that animal covered all the way from the pole to the tail head is extremely important. It's probably one of the most important things when I talk to people about, well, we poured them 2 or 3 times, but it didn't seem to work. Another thing is don't start too late. I see when people start the delousing products after they've already got an infection. And while it's important to do, it may take more than one application and to get the infection, because sometimes these infestation rates can get so bad, and sometimes they become resistant to one product or the other. So working with different products, working with your veterinarian, the veterinarian is really a key. Understanding what other people are going through, what other people are using, what other people what is working at other people's places is extremely important in my mind when you're trying to develop a program that's going to work on your farm, and that veterinarian is the one that is tied to understanding everybody else's operation. So we're going to start early in the winter. We're going to use that pour-on. We're going to cover them from pole to tailhead. Now that doesn't mean all of our pour-ons are the same way. If you're using some of the ivermectin, it's still good to get good coverage and things to that nature. I don't use a lot of pour-on ivermectin products because I don't use them so much for the control of internal parasites. I'll use the injectable with a pour-on or the white paste with a pour-on. So those are just some of the things that as I walk through and we start to talk about lice control, this is a major issue, and it's a major issue in your cows during the winter. It's a major issue after we have weaned calves and we have those calves in the feed yard. It's been estimated that you can lose up to 1/4 pound a day, average daily gain, because of lice. It's not because they lose weight from something that's causing debilitation, except for the fact that it decreases their behavior. Those animals aren't going to the bunk because their mind's on what's itching. They're going up and they're being more active and itching against the posts and different things to that nature. So this is something that can be pretty costly in your herd or in your feed yard or in your grow yard if you're not taking care of it. So again, timing, application, different products, highly important when you're starting to think about what you're going to do with lice control. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do some wrap up on ectoparasites in general, but mainly talk about some of the new things and new items that we're seeing, getting you prepared for winter, taking care of those cattle. It's fall processing time. Thanks for watching DocTalk. We'll be back right after these messages.
Some call it a come from behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
Innovative low-stress cattle handling equipment is key to efficiency and safety. At Daniels Manufacturing Company, we design systems using the best materials. We work with top producers from all over the world who use Daniels products on their operations. We concentrate on quality, prioritizing the safety of the animals and their handlers. Each product is carefully crafted and inspected to ensure your system will last for many years. Whether your operation is small or large, Daniels Manufacturing Company can design a facility to meet your needs. Visit us online or call to see how we can improve your cattle handling facility.
Time is money on the farm, and your cows are less productive when they're stressed. The Alertus on-farm test from IDEX allows you to quickly test cowside and identify open or pregnant cows within minutes on your schedule in the parlor, barn, or chute. It's more efficient for your farm, very simple to use, and puts you in control. With minimal training and reliable, fast results, sample-based pregnancy testing is better for beef and dairy producers. Learn more at idex.com/DocTalk.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan here at DocTalk. Thanks for joining us. I've moved to Ames, Iowa, where I'm back home at Iowa State. Still have a lot of friends in Kansas, Nebraska, Texas. So appreciate the emails, appreciate the contact. After this show, it's going to be awesome because we're going to do one more show on WebEx, but then we have the green light. We're going to get back out and we're going to get to some vet clinics. We're going to get to some operations, and you're going to see more action out on the farm. So excited about that and excited about getting back to what we do in our roots, and that's working cattle, working horses, and being in pig operations and so on. So when we start to think about lice, and you know, one of the questions I get is, well, when do I quit, you know, in my feed yard, or when do I quit? So again, just as you use the further north you are, the sooner in the fall you're going to start, because it starts to get colder and cloudier. And the further north you are, the longer you're going to have the duration of using this product as cattle come in on arrival, as you get new calves in, whether it's little calves, big calves, whatever, as they come into your operation. If I have them caught in the chute, this is something that's cheap. It's something that I'm going to put on their back, and then I'm going to kick them out. But what we're going to do is we're going to wait until those cold, rainy days in the spring go away. When we start to see more sunshine, when we start to see some days of some warm weather, that's when it's okay to quit doing it. So the further north you live in the United States, the sooner you're going to start using the delicing products, and the longer you're going to use them in the spring. As we move to the south, as you get into the southern part of the United States, you know, you may just use it in the deep winter months of bringing calves in. But a lot of y'all in the West Coast and far south really don't have an issue with lice, so that's not something that's a big problem for y'all. And so I think it's important to understand that timing. So if I was going to wrap up on lice, the first thing I'd say is the clinical signs of lice: cattle lose their hair. You come in, they're scratching the posts down, they're scratching the fences down. Remember, there's two types of lice. There's biting lice and there's sucking lice. When we go to use a product, we have to understand that when we give an injectable ivermectin product, that will kill the sucking lice, but it'll have no effect on the biting lice. Therefore, as we head into the winter, as we are in the winter, we're going to use a product alongside of our injectable ivermectins. We're going to use some sort of pour-on product to control lice. The thing about the pour-ons, when do we start? We start in the fall. We're going to start when we get those cold, cloudy days. And then the big thing is application. When you apply that product, make sure that you don't just squirt it in one area, that you get good coverage all along. If there's anything else I've said today that I've seen more issues with controlling lice, it's making sure that you get good application of that delicing product from at least withers to tailhead, but even pole to tailhead, so that you make sure that you get good coverage. I want to thank you all for watching DocTalk. We have a lot of fun here on the show. And remember, always work with your local veterinarian. And if you want to know more about what we do here on the show, you can find us at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here at Iowa State University, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Profusion Drench for beef cattle, a no prescription, no needle supplement. To learn more, go to zenpro.com. DocTalk was brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals. ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.